All right, welcome back. We are on segment number 6 of the top 10 critical and costly Medicare mistakes to avoid. Number 6 is not sure if you should stay on your group plan or should you enroll in Medicare Part B. That's a tough one. And this is an important one that you've got to get right. So again, I think it's important that you sit down and find an unbiased, independent agent who represents you and not any specific carrier, and let us do a cost-benefit analysis, a CBA. So does it make sense? Sometimes it usually does make sense to stay on a group plan at 65, especially if you don't have to take Part B. Again, it depends on the number of employees that you have in the group, whether or not they will require you to take Part B. So sometimes it makes sense because there are a lot of employers who pay the bulk of the health insurance plan for the employee. But sometimes it doesn't make sense. So we can do a side-by-side analysis. It really depends on the premiums. It depends on the network. It depends on the drug formularies. It depends on your deductible. It depends on your out-of-pocket expenses. And we can do this. We'll do all the heavy lifting for you, and we'll determine if it makes sense to take Medicare or stay on your group plan. And by the way, federal law requires employer group health coverage to be continued for any person past the age of 65 if you do continue working. And by the way, turning 65 would not force you to take Medicare unless your employer, remember, has fewer than 20 employees. You should always check, again, as we mentioned before, with your human resources manager about your Medicare enrollment when you're turning 65. Sometimes they require you to take Medicare Part B, sometimes they don't, so that's important. If your spouse is on a group plan, and this is many times we see this where the spouse is also working, or the spouse may be on your specific group plan, and you may be required to stay on your group plan to keep coverage for your spouse and for your family. Obviously, that makes sense to stay on your group plan at that time. If you're considering Medicare and choosing a plan, compare the premiums, the copays, the deductibles, as we mentioned before. And remember, if Medicare is going to be the best decision for you, you need to notify your plan administrator 30 days in advance in writing that you're going to be terminating your plan because you're going to be enrolling in a Medicare A and B. And at that time, making a decision, is it prudent to enroll in a Medicare supplement plan or a Medicare Advantage plan? And also it's important to remember that if you leave your employer group plan, guys, this might be only a one-way trip because you may not be able to get back to your group plan. Most group plans, once you disenroll, you would not be able to get back on that plan most of the time. And also, most of you who are working will probably not be taking your Social Security benefits. So you've got to sign up for your Medicare Part B without signing up for your Social Security benefits. And the premiums you pay will be a mitigating factor whether or not it would be prudent for you to take Medicare Part B or to stay on your group plan. So if you're going to take Medicare Part B, you're not having Social Security benefits, then Social Security will send you a payment coupon every 90 days to pay your Part B premium. And also, remember, if you decide that you're not going to sign up for Medicare Part B when you first become eligible, that means that you could potentially have a Part B penalty down the road unless you can prove that you had credible coverage. So many times clients come to us, they're working, now they're 70, they're retiring, and this is the first time they've enrolled in Medicare Part B. So we help them to enroll in Medicare Part B, and that's a Form 40-B that they complete, or they could do it online. Now, additional step that those folks have to take is that they have to have their employer complete Form L564, which is Employer Group Health Plan Creditable Coverage. So Social Security is going to need that form to avoid you having to pay a 10% penalty. So who would like to do that, right? Who wants to pay a penalty? No one. So let us help you. If you've got questions, contact the pros at MedicareJourney.org to help give you some support and guidance, you can call 833-267-6700.